CJ Stroud is one of the better quarterbacks in this draft class and going to be a franchise changer. He was a standout Ohio State quarterback, which is saying a lot because they've had a lot of talent run through that program. But something about him just worked differently. He was more of a pocket passer than what we saw from Justin Fields before him, and he was a deeper thrower than what we saw from Dwayne Haskins before Fields. And his talent is potentially the best out of any of them. Sure, his ceiling isn't nearly as high as someone like Justin Fields, who has the arm and the legs to potentially make it to be an elite player, though we are still waiting on development from him. CJ Stroud has more pocket presence and more technical prowess that Justin Fields has as a passer, but lacks out in running ability. So looking at him, what do I really see from CJ Stroud? As a two-time Heisman finalist, and going to be one of the first quarterbacks taken off the board within the first 5 picks of the NFL draft, it's not much of a surprise that he's extremely good. But to me, he's a better version of what Dwayne Haskins was coming out in 2019. He's able to throw deep, and as we're going to look, he has a lot of strengths that you can't help but love. And while he definitely has some weaknesses, they are definitely developable, and he's going to end up being a very successful quarterback if a coach is able to work with him, and he's going to be coachable for the freaking future. So let's get into the tape and see how CJ Stroud has succeeded at Ohio State, what NFL teams are going to look to improve on, and overall, just conclude on how CJ Stroud's really going to do moving into the NFL with his given skill set. Let's get into it.
What's up, guys? I'm Tyler Coker, and I'm your host for today's episode of Today with Tyler. I hope you enjoy.
Stroud has the arm of a number 1 quarterback. His arm allows him to throw all over the field. That arm power is accurate as well, helping throw the ball effectively all over the field. He reads the leverage well on his receivers, helping Ohio State's powerhouse offense. Even though he was surrounded by talent, Stroud still boosted the offense, throwing balls where only his elite receivers could get them and elevating their skill sets. He can lace throws into tight windows and improbable spots, which is key for an exceptional play in the NFL. When rolling out of the pocket, Stroud doesn't lose accuracy, another elite trait. Even under pressure, he showed flashes of success, although that was one of his biggest downfalls this season. Against pressure, Stroud's ability to process the field at an NFL level falls apart, making poor decisions despite his talent. Despite wonderful physical traits and accurate throws, Stroud is not a perfect prospect. He flashed the bad habit of fading from throws, which is dangerous and added to his struggles under pressure. He occasionally struggled with pocket presence as well, changing his drop back and footwork. That said, Stroud showed flashes of improvement footwork that can be elite when combined with his passing talent. Stroud also had poor eye discipline, often staring down his target. Especially when double tapping the ball, which he does on occasion, the straight stare into his target can make it too easy for an NFL defender to intercept his throw. The staring can also make Stroud late through his progressions, which is a worrisome trait for a future starting quarterback as soon as opening day. Not only can Stroud be late, he can struggle to anticipate open receivers. Especially in the intermediate area of the field, an important area for the NFL, Stroud did not exhibit anticipation nor execution to facilitate an NFL offense. So CJ Stroud definitely has his strengths and his weaknesses. While he's not going to ever really run the ball, he isn't necessarily immobile either, and can offer you yards in case nothing else is available. That said, he's going to rely heavily on his arm, which is kind of a good thing. Typically, relying on your arm does also help you develop as a reader much quicker, which is going to be important to his next step in the NFL, because he's not going to get drafted as a developmental quarterback. He's going to be drafted to start now. Whether that's to the Colts or the Texans or another team like potentially the Raiders who are going to skip up, it'll be definitely interesting to see. But no matter where he ends up, they're going to need to work on his anticipation and his fundamentals just to make sure that he understands exactly what he's doing before NFL defenses eat him alive. That said, if they're going to really succeed with a quarterback like CJ Stroud, there's going to be a lot of deep passes and we're going to see a lot of success in the air. So I'm excited to see what CJ Stroud does this year, because he has the talent to be a very good quarterback. And while it may be a stretch to say he's quarterback 1 in this class, because in my objective grades he's about a quarterback 3, and in draft rankings, he's quarterback 2. You can't help but fall in love with the guy for everything he's done and how much he can put together. So the question of whether he's better than Will Levis is an automatic answer. Much better. He has the talent to become an elite quarterback, and depending where he goes, we could very well be hearing CJ Stroud's name as the first successful Ohio State quarterback in a very long time, and one that changes the narrative entirely. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.